Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us right now, the one and only Dave Wodka. Man, I've known for quite a while, actually.
Yes, you're sure about that, babe.
Absolutely. Here in Las Vegas. Dave, thank you very much for joining us. And tell us, how's things going for you here at the World Series?
So far, so good. First 2 days have gone okay. I finished 29th yesterday in the Viper tournament, so I got a check out of that. And hung around on the first day on the Cheetah when the scores were super high. It's not one of my favorite patterns, but I hung around. And so I'm in 35th in the World Championship right now. Got about 50 pins out of the cut, so I'm confident going to my two better patterns.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, obviously you've been on the tour for quite a while. You've seen a lot of the different changes the PBA's gone through. How does this World Series compare to like some of the tournaments of the past?
Well, as far as the World Series goes, each year I think they get more and more of the international players to come over. Almost half the field's international this year, and as we've seen from past years, the international players are pretty good, and they make the field even that much better. We have some great bowlers here in the States, but there's a lot of people overseas that the people here in the States don't know about. This is their best opportunity to come and see them and see how good they actually are.
So are we going to see you do maybe one of these international two-handed styles here pretty soon?
Not a chance. I'll hurt myself. I'm too old for that.
Well, Dave, tell us something else, too. I mean, you're doing a lot of work, obviously, now with Ebonite International. You're the rep on the West Coast now. How's that been going for you?
It's great, yeah. As of back in March, I was hired to be the district sales manager for Ebonite. I cover Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Southern Nevada, Southern Utah, Southern California, and Hawaii. So I definitely am on the road a lot. I do a lot of work. Thankful they let me bowl a little bit here and there. I'm a DSM first, but I get to fit a little bit of bowling in. This being in my hometown, it's kind of good. I was going to be here anyway, so might as well bowl.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to take you to the hard question. Are you ready?
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, as you know, on Bowling Evolved, our biggest argument that Eric Forkel and I always have, bowling, is it a sport, is it a game? Myself personally, I always see you laughing, because myself personally, I always consider it a very difficult sport. Mr. Forkel considers it a very difficult game. Where's your stance on this?
Yeah, I think Mr. Forkel and I have had our go-rounds on this. I would say at a recreational level, it's a game, no doubt about it. At a professional level, when you talk about the World Series of Bowling or the PBA Tour or trying to make a living at it, it is absolutely a sport. And, this isn't the 70s and 80s. If you go look at the top players now, they're in shape, they work out, they eat better, they go to the gym, they take care of themselves, they practice. The practice regimens are unbelievable. Even just for our Ebonite International staff players, we were here 5 days early this week, practicing every day, simulating 6-game blocks, bowling for score, shooting spares. It's a whole different level when you get to here, and at this level, I absolutely think it's a sport.
Well, I'm going to bring up one more comment before I let you go, only because it's kind of an interesting point. You mentioned the 70s and 80s, of course. How do you compare the bowlers that were top in the 70s to the bowlers of today? Do you think the bowlers of today are better, or do you think it's just a totally different game?
I think it's a totally different game. In bowling, even more so than other sports, and in most sports you can't really compare eras. In bowling, I think even more so, because the technology has evolved so much, the game has evolved so much. Really the part of why the scores are higher today, the only thing that hasn't evolved in bowling is the pins. We're still bowling against the same pins we were bowling against 25 years ago. But at a professional level right now, I think bowling is as hard as it's ever been with all the technology and the different lane patterns. And, it may not show it when people think the scores are so high this week and, the lanes are easy. And I challenge any house bowler to come bowl where the top 150 guys are averaging 230, the top 150 guys in the world. I challenge any house bowler to come and try to average 210 on it.
Well, there we go. There's a challenge laid out. Dave, best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much for having me.